Labor's candidate in the seat of Parramatta, Andrew Charlton, great bloke, very handsome, a lot like me. But he's got a bit of, some local learnings, I think, to use the preferred language. He's copped some flack for being parachuted into the seat from his $16 million mansion in Bellevue Hill. I actually heard someone refer to it as a $19 million mansion. Is someone actually tracking its value over the course of the campaign and upgrading it? Anyway, he's now been caught out not knowing enough about the seat he's running in. When asked to name 3 restaurants in the electorate, the Labor hopeful struggled to get to, well, just have a look. It's painful.
Oh, there are a lot of good ones. I would have to say I went to an iftar with the Parramatta Mosque, and the food there was fantastic. I'll have to come back to you on the name.
So, look, to his fair, I actually thought, when I first saw the headline, I went, oh no, and then he got 2 out of 3. So, as Meatloaf said,
2 out of 3.
Not bad.
Yeah.
But yes, that was him struggling to get to the third one. And also, it was an Indian news outlet that was talking to him. So maybe he was just trying to name India. I'm just making excuses for Labor again, aren't I? This is pathetic. Okay, Todd, I want you to blame the right, because as someone, as a Labor campaigner, this is what you have to do. You've got to somehow blame the right for their candidate, for Labor's candidate, not being able to name 3 restaurants in the seat that he's running in. 1, 2, 3, go.
Well, clearly Andrew was told by the right that if he names 3 restaurants, he's going to be labelled a toff who eats out all the time and therefore is not in touch with his electorate who have to make the lunches for the kids and eat mince because the interest rates have gone up. But this was a no-win situation because if he names 3 restaurants, the left blame him for not choosing a diverse enough selection. The only good answer here, and if he had his time over, the only good answer is to say, if I'm elected, I'm going to eat at every restaurant in the Parramatta electorate over the next 3 years, and therefore I have to join every gym in the Parramatta electorate as well.
That is community engagement right there.
That is real community engagement.
I'd be worried about it. If I was his opponents, I'd be worried about that, because if he's a Labor candidate and he's a brilliant candidate, the fact he's only able to name 2 restaurants, which means he hasn't been to that many fundraisers because he doesn't need to, because his campaign is up. They're about to roll everybody who's going to stand up against him. So I'd be worried if I was standing up against that guy.
Isn't the real story that as a Labor candidate, he should be naming Chinese restaurants? Surely. Well, or indeed, he could have done the whole, I'll never say. It's the best kept secret in Parramatta. You know what it is. Parnell, how do you use this in all seriousness, as if you're a strategist for the Liberal side of things? Is this how do you make this a fatal blow for Andrew Charlton if you were trying to blow him out of the water?
More or less exactly how the Daily Telegraph did today.
What, in a fair and balanced fashion?
Well, he didn't know. He doesn't know the electorate. He doesn't know what the locals value. He doesn't have any particular insight into how locals live. He is talking to groups which at the business level rather than to locals. So he is just out of touch with this electorate, and the people know it. He doesn't even look like most people in that electorate.
Because he's so handsome.
He looks like a blow-in from Bellevue Hill. So, this was a bad look because it just underlined his otherness in this election.
Well, there is a huge Indian community in Parramatta as well, so that's why this is significant.
And I should make a declaration that I may have some interest in this campaign.
I knew it. It sounded extremely convincing, I have to say. Not sure if that's the first time you've used that. Eamon, say you're in charge of pulling Andrew out of this mess. What is the first thing you do?
Well, I don't think he's actually in a mess for a whole bunch of reasons, because I think it's all about, remember what Bob Carr did to John Brogden? Remember very early on in that campaign where there was whisperings about Bob and he was very particular about what he liked to eat, and it was the pie. The pie versus
That's right, the pie
Brogdon
versus the
sausage roll, which is just a brilliant masterstroke.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would do something maybe a little bit similar, but everyone wants Andrew Charlton at their restaurant, and this would be the trigger for that. If I was him, I'd be going to every restaurant now, and you just have momentum.
Just owning it.
eating the
asking-
greatest
A
Indian
tasting
food in
tour of
Parramatta.
Parramatta.
And asking
but-
him for vegetarian biryani, which is what he said his favourite dish was.
I reckon
I'm not sure if
probably
that screams man of the people. But anyway, good on you, Sandy. We love you.